Hi guys, I'm back again today with our last Buy Me Coffee. And this is German kindergarten culture shock. I know kindergarten is a German word, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that in my German one semester class, which I learned nothing. I learned my Name is Ruki. Auf Wiedersehen. Oh god, my German sucks. I forgot everything. It was like years ago. It's like light years ago. Welcome. Vox. What? People are gonna be like a crazy girl. Oh, my nose. Okay, anyways, we're gonna do this now. Ting. Oh, Halloween. Come on. There's a lot of crochet stuff. I didn't think Germany cared for Halloween actually.
So today we want to share a few ways that kindergarten in Germany has surprised us as Americans and how our daughter has been doing in German kindergarten.
About Halloween.
So hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Sarah.
Hello, and I'm Kevin.
And we're an American family of 6 with 4 kids.
And a cat.
Who moved from America to Germany in February of 2021 to experience a new culture, new language, have some more opportunities for travel, and yeah. What else? I don't know. I never know what to say in that part. Yeah, so this week and next week we're going to be talking about our kids' experiences in school here as Americans, as foreigners in the German school system. We have got Ella, who's 5, and then all the way up to Gabriel, who is 12. So we're experiencing kindergarten all the way to gymnasium. So we feel like we're getting a good experience of, Grundschule and gymnasium and all the different ages. So today we're going to start with kindergarten and our experience. Mm-hmm. So the first thing we noticed when we started talking about kindergarten in our videos is that in America we call all school, including preschool, like from the age of 3 on, it's called school.
Right.
And
yeah, we say, oh, our daughter's going to school, kindergarten. And we get lots of comments, no, that's not school. Yeah. But, especially with kindergarten in America, the kindergarten is part of Grundschule, part of the elementary school. So it is kind of weird in a way that you have all of the other grades are numbered, but kindergarten is, yes. and I mean, even in the way we talk about education, we talk about K to 12 education from kindergarten through 12th grade. So kindergarten is a year that comes before 1st grade that's part of the elementary or Grundschule. So for us, it very much is school.
Kindergarten is school, yeah.
But even, like you say, preschool, well, in the word preschool, it's called school.
Exactly.
I also remembered, I think kinder is child, right, in German, and Garten is garden, if I'm not mistaken. So children, I don't know, I forget, but our German teacher taught us. I'm just pointless at this point, It makes sense, but our kinders are not in the garden, they're in the classroom. I don't even know if if it's the right translations. So I might be talking shemangles.
You know, especially nowadays where everyone's focused more and more on academics and pushing everyone to try and go to college, it's still, we call it school, and they're pushing a lot more of academics back there. You know, you have to get into the right preschool because they're going to prepare you academically to be ready for kindergarten, and kindergarten's going to prepare you to get into first grade, and it's going to get you eventually to go to MIT or Harvard or whatever, you know?
So much freaking pressure.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
so there is a lot of that
Why
in
do they
America
have
that we
beautiful
do consider
teeth?
both preschool and kindergarten school, where the primary purpose is teaching academics. And that's definitely not the focus of kindergarten in our experience here so far in Germany.
Yeah, and for our American followers, kindergarten in Germany is from ages 3 to 5 or 6, and it is play-based. So
Right, and not only is it play-based, but those ages 3 through 6 are all together in the same class.
yes, and in America they're separated
Yeah,
by
they're
age,
by
like the
each
3 to
year.
4-year-olds, 4 to 5-year-olds, 5 to 6-year-olds,
Yeah.
depending on birthdays and all that.
And that was something that was really interesting, that
don't
when
know how
Ella
they do
went
it
to
here. I
kindergarten
think
the
it's
first
all
time,
together
there
too.
were all these older children that could greet her and made her feel at home, because you know, she's used to older brothers and everything, and plus the older kids get it more. She was 4 when she
Yeah.
started, and the
The
4-year-olds,
6-year-olds.
yeah, the 6-year-olds understand, oh, there's a new kid, I should go and welcome them and be nice to
Yeah.
them, and you know, 4-year-olds don't quite get that.
And they kind of mothered her.
Yes, they
And
did.
took her by the hand and helped her get used to school. And that helped so much. So we saw a benefit of having the ages together and really liked it. I wouldn't say it was a negative experience having just 3 and 4-year-olds together in the U.S., but it's been a very positive experience having mixed ages.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We never would have expected that.
Yeah, so in the U.S. in preschool, from ages, like I said, 3 to 5 or 3 to 6 years old, kids are learning all the basics of math and reading. I mean, they're learning their alphabet. They're starting to learn first words by the age of 5 and 6 years old, because by the time they enter kindergarten, in the Grundschule in elementary school, it is, you know, full on. They start learning to read right away in kindergarten. Now, it didn't used to be that way when Kevin and I were kids. This is something that keeps creeping earlier and earlier and earlier. And if it continues to creep up, they're going to be teaching babies how to read. It's like, when is this going to end?
Well, you are supposed to play classical music to your fetus, so that they'll learn how to be musically inclined
Right.
with good music before they're born.
Right, no Jay-Z or Beyonce or
Oh, I'm
just-
playing a freaking
Classical.
Eminem. I don't care.
And so it's like, we've seen over the years, and many American parents will complain about this, and the teachers will too, and say, you know, this is too much too soon. You know, let's get back to kids being able to be kids. And they're seeing how there's too much academic pressure at an early age. However, the flip side of that is you're also seeing how 3 and 4-year-olds really can learn a lot, and they are capable of learning a lot of new information and retaining it and doing very well with it. So
I don't know, where's the balance?
where's the balance?
I mean, but yeah, when they're kids, when they're that young, they should just have fun and play and not have to worry about, you know, learning academics.
Yeah, we
It's-
have the rest of our lives to stress. So why are we stressing kids already? Like, why are we born to start stressing about homeworks and coloring in the line and all this craziness, right? Like, we have the rest of our lives to do that. Let's enjoy at least the first 10 years of our lives, and then bring on the hell, right? Like, because when you're an adult, right, you know how shit the world can be. So why are we allowing our kids to live in that hellhole? Let them enjoy first. Maybe they can find other ways to get out of this reality of, anyways, it doesn't sound right as I'm saying it.
should just have fun and play and not have to worry about, you know, learning academics. It is really interesting here in Germany. I mean, we'll talk more about this when we talk about Grundschule and Gymnasium, but
What is
it really gets
Grundschule?
accelerated. You know, they're allowed to be kids for a long time,
Yeah.
and you know, even first and second grade and even third grade are reasonably relaxed in Grundschule, and then it picks up real fast.
Like fourth grade.
And you know
date.
what? Nowadays, kids of this generation are more inclined, like they're more like they have a lot of mental health problems, and there's a lot of suicide. I can't say it on YouTube because I'll get demonetized or blocked, um because of the pressure of our society as well as parents on children. Instead of them living their childhood, living their life, they're like, no, you have to go to Harvard, oh, you have to become a scientist, you have to do this, you have. Everybody wants you to be something, or else you're kind of like useless. And of course, when they hear those things and they are put so much pressure, they do unthinkable things. Some people will rebel, which is okay, like they go to drinking and partying and all that stuff, which is at least salvageable. But how about the kids that take their lives, right? Why do we keep doing this if it's harming a lot of people? Why can't we live like this? Because in our city, even in our culture, it's not a thing that happens. Like kids or people in general, like Philippines is not a high suicide rate country, but recently it has become. It is getting there because I don't know, the pressure. It's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. This is a long video.
Reasonably relaxed in Grundschule, and then it picks up real fast.
Like fourth grade, bam.
Yeah.
You are now in school.
But it is interesting. So I don't know where is the right balance, but it's different here.
Yeah, so back in the US, and I've mentioned this in a few other videos, when we had our first two sons, I got really into Montessori learning, and on my blog, I had a lot of Montessori posts. I made a lot of my own Montessori learning games and things like that. And what I've noticed is the approach here in Germany seems to really follow the Montessori Waldorf approach, which is letting kids be independent, letting them make their own decisions, just having the toys out for them and they can go and play with them. And they don't realize they're learning while they play because they're all learning games, but they just feel like they're playing all day.
Yeah.
Yet they are learning.
Oh, heck. They've got the Waldkindergarten, the forest kindergartens even, which are public schools that are part of the public school system, and you can go to them. And, we didn't get Ella into one of those. We didn't really know how or how that would work, but it's just really fascinating that you just send the kids, they spend all the time outside in the woods, and
the entire day.
It's so cool. Really about that self-reliance and teaching them to make their own decisions, and not being in this sort of sanitized world where everything is packaged for them.
For those of you who aren't in Germany, you can send your kids to a Montessori or Wald Kindergarten, either free or very relatively inexpensively. In the US, Montessori schools are known for being only for the rich. They're very expensive, $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a year. You can get scholarships and things like that, but the average person is not going to Montessori schools in the US. We could never afford it.
No.
And I would have loved
the Montessori way of teaching, maybe the real meaning is not being used over here. I think so, because the reason why I know this is because every parent wants to take their kids to Montessori or whatever. I didn't even know the meaning of it. I just thought it was an expensive school wherein academics are really, really good. Like the people who go there are rich and smart. That's what I thought. So we also inquired to that school, and it doesn't seem like it's a play-learn environment. I feel like it's more academics that they do here in the Philippines, and I've known people who've gone to schools in the Montessori, like whatever, and yeah, it's more academic based. I don't think there's a school here that cares about playtime. I think maybe Brent, because it's a very international school. Maybe they are more into like sports and music and theater, and also balance of education. But for the most part, schools here don't adapt to that play learn system or whatever. They don't care.
And our kids there, but they're also known for having inferior academics by the time they get to 4th and 5th grade and things like that. So it is great in the early ages.
And that brings another point too about how kindergarten here in Germany is not part of the Grundschule or the elementary school, that it's not that it is there is a price tag associated with going to kindergarten. And yet there's all these discounts, and I mean we still don't understand how everything worked, but in the end she's going for free, right?
Yes.
So so it's really interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah, in the U.S. you have to pay for preschool.
Yeah, so preschool like that, you would definitely pay, and it, the private ones like what she's talking about are very, very expensive. But even just the normal ones can be quite pricey too. Where we lived in Georgia, there was a state-run preschool program that did. So there were certain preschools that were free to go to, but they were
for
often,
ages 4 or 5.
Was it 4 or 5?
Yeah.
They were often hard to get in. They would be full, and so there might not be a place for you. There's a lottery to get in, and they weren't always known as the best schools either. Oftentimes, so it's kind of like you get what you pay for in a way in America, and here it's not that same way at all. It seems like all of the kindergartens are very high quality and are all supported by the government. And, folks don't have to pay a lot, or it's usually free, at least in our case. And I imagine for many other folks it is too.
Yeah, so Ella goes for free as long as she is there from 8:30 to 3:30. If I want to send her longer, then I have to pay more. 8:30 to 3:30. Now for a working family, if the mom is working too, obviously you'd be sending them longer. But it wouldn't be much more money. I think it was going to be 85 euros a month if I sent her till 5:30. I mean, that is so cheap compared to what it is in America.
Absolutely.
So cheap. And also there's the kripas, the kitas for, which is daycare. And I was going to recommend that you watch the Black Forest Family's video on that. She explains the whole concept of how it's different from the U.S. to Germany very well, and I enjoyed her video. And we're not going to have to experience any kripas or kitas here, so...
Yeah, we came with our kids past that stage,
So I'll link to that in the description box below. So we want to spend a little bit of time talking about the culture of self-reliance, because that's a big deal here in Germany in raising children. And we have done 3 videos on that. So I will link to our little series on German self-reliance and German childhood down below. You can see the culture of self-reliance, starting in these kindergartens. So here's one small example.
I thought it was real food.
The children come with a snack to have every day. It's called a Brotzeit here in southern Bayern. I imagine maybe it's not called that all over Germany.
I don't think so.
Actually, I know it isn't. So it's a Brotzeit, a bread time. Right. So they have their little Brotzeit they come with, and it's all like these standard boxes, and it took us a while to find where
get the right ones.
Get these boxes. So we got a little Brotzeit box, and the children come in, they have free play, and then for 15 minutes, starting at usually around 9 a.m., 9 in the morning, they do a circle time, and that's when they talk about the weather, what the day of the week is. The child gets to, this is something that blew our minds, because this is not done at all in the U.S., is that one kid is picked every day to be the one who lights the candle for the
my first try.
Yes, they use a match, and they, with the teacher's help, learn starting at the age of 3 how to light a candle, and then they get to pick what.
I know a lot of people who are in their 30s who doesn't even know how to light a match. They don't know how to do that with the match. My friends.
Song is going to be sung for children, and they get to pick a question that the teacher asks. I mean, this is at our kindergarten. I'm sure
and now look at the
different from different kindergartens. I'm not saying this is done all over Germany, but at our kindergarten, this is how it is. So they ask a question like, what is your Lieblingsfarbe, your favorite color? Or what is your Lieblingstiere? And they have to answer, what is your favorite animal? And so each kid has to go around and say it in a full sentence, and they will correct them if they don't say it in a full sentence, and they have to answer the question. And then they usually sing some songs, and usually someone in the classroom is able to play basic guitar chords, and it's usually the teacher plays guitar. And then after that, it's free playtime, and they will maybe go outside. I have heard that they absolutely have to have outdoor time every single day unless it's pouring rain, and I've definitely seen that to be true. And then, so they have free playtime and also free snack time, which means, and what I mean by that is that at any time they can choose when to have their snack. So they get to choose which toys they want to play with in the room, and they can choose when they feel hungry enough to go and get their broadside box out of their rucksack and bring it in out of their book bag and eat it at the table. And they sit down at a little snack table and they get to decide when they want to have their snacks. So it's really cool because they end up usually doing it by friends, when their friend goes to get their snacks,
I was gonna
and you
say,
see like Ella
the
go
whole
get her
class
snack
will be
to
like,
her,
oh, let's do it.
It's little things like that where the kids are allowed to be independent. They're allowed,
enabling them to make their own decisions.
Yes, from the age of 3.
Instead of, okay, you have to go, it's time to go.
Yeah, it's like military, if it's like real school, So did I just say real school? When it comes to, let's say, our type of school here, it's more military, like, oh, break time. Oh, this time. Oh, math time. Oh, you don't have a freedom of like feeling hungry. Like, I don't care if you're hungry, 6 years old person, you have to wait for break time. I don't care if you're starving 3-year-old, you have to wait for the break time. Like, that's so crazy, right?
From the age of 3.
Instead of, okay, you have to go,
Yes.
it's time to go. All right, we're all going to walk out. Everybody has to be in the straight line. You have to be walking on the second square on the tiles.
know,
and
right?
everything is all hyper managed by the teachers. Yeah, instead of giving the kids the opportunity to explore life and figure out and make decisions on their own. It's very different.
Yes. And Americans are more...
Like, they always give us rules, right? Like, students, they always are giving rules and all that stuff. But then when you graduate from school, college, university, whatever, they don't give you a manual to life, do they? No, they let you go on your own. So why can't we do that in education also? Why don't you teach real life things instead of this? I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore.
For their helicopter parenting, and you can see how that goes all the way back to early childhood, and how it really is ingrained in our culture, and how German self-reliance is ingrained here. And we've always liked the parenting style of giving our kids decision-making skills. I hate being a helicopter parent. That's it's annoying. I mean, you have to watch over them, and I don't want to be helicoptering my kids. So we fit in very well with that culture here. So another example of this self-reliance is in art. And this is something that always bothered me when we lived in the US, is that when you make art projects with the children in any grade level, from preschool all the way on up, it's like a color by number. Like, you have to do exactly what the art teacher says. You have to follow exact directions, and you're just basically copying what the art teacher says. I have taken drawing classes before. I have done graphic design. I've been a dancer for many years.
Art is like
I have
freedom
been a
of
creative
expression. What are you
person my
talking
whole
about?
life.
You're just supposed to follow the instructions. An engineer, you're supposed to follow the instructions and make it exactly this way.
Yes, and as an artist, I was just
That's
always
not very
like,
creative.
I have to color in the lines and color what colors you tell me to do. Like, I hated it as a kid, and I think it's the wrong way to teach art. And I think any art teacher, and I'm sure even in the US, art teachers would probably disagree with this way of teaching. But I mean, to me, art is about expressing yourself. It's
self-exploration.
Self-exploration. What colors would I like to color this? And maybe I want to go outside of the lines and create something over here and draw something over here. And, so I've seen in the German kindergartens here how they have a table with colored pencils and paper and scissors and glue. And the kids can just make whatever they want. And it looks like something a 3-year-old made. It's not something that's like beautiful that you can put on Pinterest and everybody's going to click on. No, it's not going to go viral on Instagram. Like, it's not beautiful, but it doesn't matter. The whole point is your kid got to sit down and explore their creativity and do whatever they wanted, and an adult wasn't standing over them telling them what to do and not letting them make their own decisions.
Tab A must go into slot B.
Now, when you're doing math and science,
Yeah, it's
that's
different.
the time to follow the rules, okay? We want engineers who know what they're doing.
But not in our class.
But not in our class. But they do also have crafts that they do maybe once every few weeks. It's not very often. That decorate the classroom, and they'll teach the kids how to cut out a certain shape in order to make a sunflower. Right now, that's the decoration in the kindergarten is sunflowers, and of course leaves and things like that, and pumpkins. And so they teach them how to cut out a pumpkin and what it looks like, which I think is still an important skill because now we're learning how to cut out an oval shaped object. It's good for their dexterity. That's still important to learn. But art also needs to include do whatever you want and explore your own creativity, in my humble opinion. So something we mentioned in our video from last week is that we needed a lot more equipment for Ella to go to kindergarten here that we didn't need in the U.S. In the U.S., her playground and many of the playgrounds are pretty sanitary. They're not exciting. We have a whole video on playgrounds as well, German playgrounds. We went all out on that because we love the German playgrounds.
We saw some.
Link in the description. It wasn't that exciting of a playground in the U.S. It depends on the school. Some are going to have better playgrounds than others. Ours was just so-so. And they never take them outside if the playground is wet, if it's too cold, or if it's too hot. So here, the teachers were like, she needs her Regenjacke, Regenhosen. She needs
Or sun hat.
Oh gosh,
It's
yeah,
like
the
we
hat was
need
a big deal.
like
Gotta
there's a
have
lot.
hat, like a baseball cap in the summer. She needs ear warmers in the spring and fall, and then a real winter hat for wintertime and gloves. And she needs
Oh,
rain
that's so cool. I want to see all
boots
those videos.
and
Oh, there we
snow
go.
boots and
They will be outside, pretty much no matter what the weather is,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah,
we love it. Yeah,
Which
I think
is
it's
real
great.
world. Like I'm
And
not
even
gonna
Ella had
stay
to get used to
in
that. She was kind of
just because it's snowing.
used to staying indoors more and not being a real outdoorsy kid. She's a girly girl like me, so she wasn't too excited about getting dirty and
I am starting to get her hooked on hiking.
Yes, you are. Kevin is getting her hooked on hiking, and she's hiking more and more. So if you want more information about like the gear that kids need, I would watch our other video. But we definitely have needed a lot more outdoor gear for kindergarten than ever before. All right, guys. So
Which
that's
is
all we
fine,
have for you
right?
today.
She's gonna
Hope you
use
enjoyed
it
this video.
outside of school too.
And thanks as always for your comments and your subscriptions and your likes. And thanks for watching.
This is fun. I like
Cheers.
this.
Hashtag awkward. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, she's turning 5. Oh, she turned 5 already. That is so cool that they share this. And I feel like that is a really, really good kindergarten experience. I don't necessarily remember my kindergarten. Maybe I just blocked it out because it wasn't the best. And yeah, this is what we were doing. I don't recall outdoors. I don't recall. It's only break time that we will go outdoors, but I don't recall any sort of like fun. Yeah. So anyways, this was a very beautiful experience and reaction, and I hope that we'll get to react to more as well. Thank you, and if you like the video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.